What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gershwan.
And today we're back to answer your questions in another episode of For the Greater WAAAGH.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. That is what Jane Hugart did. She asks, or he asks, Marvel Universe versus Warhammer 40K. Who wins? We would have to choose. I think it's easier to do, like, of course, one, because in the Marvel universe is filled with multiple what are they called? Universes, right?
Right.
So we'll choose the...
Like, if you're going off the cinematic universe, or...
honestly, though,
universe.
Honestly, whatever universe you pick, I think Marvel is at a huge disadvantage.
Oh, really?
Because if you look at it, Marvel... all the stories within Marvel happen very close to Earth, or they're Earth-centric. Whereas, like, in 40K, you're looking at the entire galaxy. Even when you look at, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, and you look at, like, the Nova Corps, and, like, all those types of comic books, they still seem very small compared to the might of the Imperium. At least that's how I see it. So I think that even though people like Doctor Strange... people like,
You gotta think. You got Galactus you're going up against. You have, the Celestials that are like, they could easily crush a planet in the blink of an eye. No need for, like, to do exterminatus. These guys can literally just, clear out whole solar systems.
But those guys usually tend to be, like, key points within a storyline that I don't really think that they would come out and just fight them. Because you could say, like, yeah, you have Galactus, but you also have the Catan.
Right.
You have the Celestials, but you have Korn and Zinch and
But the
Slanesh.
thing about those Chaos Gods, they can't manifest in the real world. Or at least they haven't.
Yeah.
Celestials are here and now, they're tangible.
So who's it, like, a Celestial? Because, like, who's a Celestial in the Marvel universe?
I mean, there's tons of them. There's like a whole race of them.
Yeah, but like, I feel that the Chaos Gods would create, or send, like, the Demon Primarchs. So it'd be like Angron versus one of the Celestials.
That's not a match at all.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Because aren't the Celestials like...
think of Galactus just, like, on, like, a whole different level. Like, I could see a Primarch going up against, like, Thanos. But, like, Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, I think he's got... Like, he's going to be a threat to the 40K universe. And he's not even, the big, huge powerhouses. Thor would be a threat. And he's not, like, a huge, like, the best of the best.
I think the problem then comes down to, like, the way that Marvel stories are written and the way 40K is written. Because, like, 40K is supposed to be grimdark.
Right.
Your heroes are going to fall in 40K. You have Yarick, who got captured by Godskull. You have Godskull, who got treated by the Tyranids.
Yeah.
So every guy that you can think of that's supposed to be a hero at some point has seen a huge, like, fail.
Right.
Where you don't have that in Marvel, not to the extent of, like...
Right, because obviously Thor did fall, he got banished, but you see him again, he's now stronger than he was before.
Whereas, like, it's not the same in 40K, because that's what I was thinking, because, like, when you were mentioning, like, all those really powerful, like, Galactus and all that kind of stuff, the way they fall is very, like, scripted, I guess. It's not realistic.
Right, I guess so, yeah.
Because, like, when it was, who fought, it was Hulk versus, what's the blonde guy? Sentry. Like, that was a battle that I felt was like, that was curved towards Sentry, or curved towards the Hulk or something like that.
It ended up in a stalemate.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that it would be a stalemate. I think Sentry would have gotten him. Because it's like, Hulk is good, but, like, he's not Sentry. He's not a god. But you don't have that in 40K. In 40K, it's more realistic.
Yeah.
And then you can't say, like, oh, what about DC? Because, like, even though DC might be more realistic in terms of the stories it tells, you still have fucking Superman.
Right. Superman can, like, solo, pretty much. Well, no, because, like, he's weak against magic. So, like, would the warp be his antithesis?
Maybe, if that's what that is. I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment down below. But that was a good question.
Yeah.
And it's one that we could keep talking about forever.
And ever. And ever.
Because if you break it down to individual characters too, like Iron Man in the 40K universe, he would be good, but he wouldn't be like what Hulk would have been in the 40K universe. And no, the Hulk would not take over a WAAAGH. Because that will be a question. And I'm going to answer it right now. Hulk cannot lead orcs. Next question.
This was by Well Hung Dong. How did the Thousand Sons recruit new Marines? Thank you. Well, a lot of the Marines got taken up by the curse. The
Rubric, no.
the
Ahriman?
Ahriman, yeah. Ahriman was trying to save his boys, but he messed up and he like basically made them all just into suits of armor with like automatrons. So.
But there, you still have sorcerers, and those sorcerers are born on the planet of
Sorcerers.
no, but it has another or is that the city? What's the city's name?
Tizca, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. And also, I checked this, and Magnus does have a tower where he sees throughout the or outside of the warp, and if a psychic being is born that's pretty powerful, Magnus tries to take him and bring him so that he can become a sorcerer, and plot and scheme the Zinchian way. But yeah. Next question, speaking about giant towers with eyes. Oh no, this is Halo rings, never mind. Anyways, Erkin Probe says, what if the Halo rings were found within the 40K galaxy? They kind of already are, as far as I understand the Halo rings. They're called, what's that Necron giant weapon?
What do you call it?
Necron, it was in the mini wargaming campaign. I forget what they're called. But the Necrons have basically planet-killing machines already.
Like pylons?
No, not pylons. The pylons were just like anti-warp.
Right.
But these things were like star fortresses that were like, they can basically Death Stars. That's what the Halo rings are, right?
Yeah, because once you basically have all the Halo rings working, they wipe out all life, and you start from scratch.
Why was that a thing in Halo?
The Flood.
Oh, the Flood wanted to wipe them out?
Well, the Flood took over everything, and I think they're called the Forerunners. They created the rings to wipe everything out, but before that, they had like the genes of all sentient life stored in those rings, so then afterwards they can repopulate again.
Oh, so you could even, if you check out my 40 facts on where are the old ones.
Where are they at?
The theory is kind of the same as those guys who used to live in the Halo universe.
Forerunners?
They don't want to destroy the universe with machines like the Halo rings. They want to destroy the universe by sending in the Tyranids, and the Tyranids will completely wipe the galaxy clean, and then they'll come in and repopulate. At least that's what my theory is. So in a way, that stuff is already happening in Warhammer 40K. And how are they dealing with it? Not too good. Next one.
This one's by Defuo06. He's always got good questions. Whenever the Tau claimed victory over when the Tau claim victory over the forces of the Imperium, do they salvage, or what do they do with the weapons and equipment left by Imperial forces? Like vehicles, knights, etc. Do Tau use these to reverse engineer stuff?
Yeah, I wanted to say reverse engineer, but yeah, they do that, right?
Somewhat, yeah. It's more like the other way around, like a little bit, because even though like Xenos technology is forbidden for the Imperium, they reversed engineered the original stealth suits for the Tau so that they could be able to locate where the Tau would be at. So that's why they made the new stealth suits that are a little bit more protective. But yeah, Tau could, but I mean for the most part their technology is already ahead of Imperial tech.
I think they have better control of AI than the humans do. Mm-hmm. There was a comment in one of our videos that was talking about the machine spirit and how the machine spirit might be, because like during the Dark Age of technology, this is before the Imperium, the Dark Age of technology was when humans were colonizing different planets. They had these things called standard template constructs that had in them like the data to create pretty much everything that humanity needed to colonize these worlds. And it was believed, or this guy was saying that, I forget who it was, but he was saying that maybe a part of AI, or the information to create AI was in those STCs, and every single machine that was built had a piece of that AI. Kind of like if you think, like your smartphone is a smartphone because it gets connected to like multiple things. So the same way for the STC. So like even though you might build a tractor, that tractor would still have an AI connected to the mainframe. And that's why nowadays the Skitarii they pray to the machine spirit, because that machine spirit is actually the AI that lives within each thing that was created. And that's a very primitive way of like building a system, whereas the Tau already have a more advanced system that they can control better. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. Mm-hmm. Next question comes from Defool06. Can Malkador return as a saint? Maybe.
I mean, it would make sense because like he was the Emperor's right-hand man, so it would make sense that the Emperor would bless him with so much power that he'd become a saint.
Maybe he's just fighting with the Emperor inside the Army of the Light with Lupe Fiasco. He came out with an album last week.
Damn, everybody did.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne, Logic.
I don't like Lil Wayne, but yes, I listened to a little bit of it. The Lil Wayne one. Next one.
Defool06 once again.
Ooh.
Is there any human more overpowered than Khaldor Drago besides the Emperor?
Gilliman.
He's not a human though. He's a spaceman.
Oh, okay.
Well, Drago's strictly speaking, human, no. But
Yarick?
Like, Yarick, I guess you could consider him.
Because that guy's like come close to dying multiple times.
Yeah.
Oh, Sly Marble.
There you go. Can't forget him. This is an interesting one by Neil Browning. Would the 40K universe have been better off with the Interrex actually becoming a galactic power instead of the Imperium of Man?
No, because the Interrex were actually chaotic in nature. They were connected to their machines through chaos, if I remember. Yeah. So you wouldn't want that. They were more robot than they were human.
And that human part was like corrupted.
Yeah. So no, the Imperium would not be better off if the Interrex would have won. Also, Yeah. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below.
Keep them coming.
This is Gershwan,
the Sound Alchemist, and we are out of here.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.